Expansion.
Hey, what's up guys? Thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to bring you guys this video because it's definitely long overdue. I've been getting a lot of emails and a lot of questions and a lot of inquiries about what detoxification is in regards to people's specific ailments, and I do my best to respond to everybody and let them know that there's no one-size-fits-all protocol when it comes to healing the body. Everyone's organs, everyone's tissues is unique, everyone's constitution is unique to them and to their lifestyle and to what they did growing up and what they're doing today. So that's why you can't just heal everything by just taking a certain herb and, you know, going on a 20-day fast, for instance. Those are great things to do, but everyone has to approach their body based off of what their body's specific weaknesses are, and that's what my job as a healer is. So with this video, I definitely want to try to simplify what detoxification is so that just about anybody can understand it, and I also want you guys to understand what my job as a healer is, as a detoxification specialist is, in helping you, return back to health. So I'm going to give you guys my simplified definition of detoxification. So detoxification is the process that your body goes through when given the adequate environment to get rid of lymphatic stagnation and cellular waste. It's a process of opening up all your channels of elimination so that acidity and so that lymphatic stagnation can adequately be removed, and so that dis-ease can go away, you know what I'm saying, which are just symptoms. Diseases are just symptoms. We'll get more into that later. Detoxification is a process that your body is already always doing. Your body is always on detox mode, or at least it's trying to be. But it's not something that you acquire. You're like, how do I detox? Your body's already trying to detox. What your job is to do is to move out of your body's way and give it the environment to get rid of acid so that it can start to regenerate tissue. I'm going to give you an example of how your body's always in detox. So have you ever, let's say you just didn't eat for 8 hours. You were just so busy, you got up, you went straight to work, you went straight to the gym after work, you went straight to school, or you had to pick up your kids, or you had to pick up your nieces and nephews, and you went like 5 or 6 or 7 hours without eating anything, and then you started to develop a headache, or maybe you even got a little bit itchy, or your stomach started to hurt. That, my friends, is your body detoxifying. You went a certain amount of time, like, let's say 8 or 9 hours of not eating. You probably woke up, so you went to sleep for about 7 or 8 hours the night before. Then you got up, you didn't consume anything, or maybe you just had a glass of water, and then you didn't eat anything for 8 or 9 hours after that. So you just basically did like a 16-hour dry fast or a 16-hour fast. Your body is saying, hey, all this energy that we would normally be using to digest food, we're going to start using this now to clean the body. And what happens is when your body starts to finally loosen up this mucus in different parts of your organs, different parts of your tissues, and it finally starts to loosen up this acidic waste, and you're moving around a little bit, so your lymphatic system is starting to pump, because your lymphatic system doesn't have a pump like your blood does. You have to it moves through muscle contraction. So all of a sudden you're moving, you're not eating, it's been a while, your body is saying, okay, we're not digesting food, we have the energy now. As quick as we can, let's hurry up and let's start getting rid of waste, because we know that our host, this guy, this human, this soul, is probably going to start eating soon. So right now we have the opportunity to clean. We're going to cleanse ourselves, and we're going to start to get rid of acid. That's what your body already wants to do. So it's not something that you acquire. So when people say that they're going on a detox, they're just moving out of the body's way and giving the body certain herbs that stimulate specific organs, and also eating things like astringent fruits, like let's say watermelon, for example. It's really astringent and it really pulls on your lymphatic system. So they're moving their lymphatic system, they're eating the right foods, and they're taking the right herbs for their organs. Now, I'm sure a few of the people that are watching this have been on juice fasts. I've been on several fasts myself. I did a 90-day juice fast, I've done a 21-day juice fast, I've done several 3 to 7 day juice fasts in the past few years. So if you know anything about juice fast, you know that it's a very, very serious situation where you start to really go through a lot of detoxification symptoms, depending on your ailments and depending on how long you've been eating clean. You know what I'm saying? I've been a completely raw living food eater for about a year and a half now. I haven't had any cooked food since February 27th, 2019. So we're in 2020 right now. It's August 12th. So I've been eating raw living food, so my lymphatic system has been in a much better shape. I'm finally releasing acids, and my body's doing what it needs to do to cleanse, heal, and regenerate tissues, but it takes time. This is why I always, when I work with my clients, I transition them into a predominantly raw living food, diet. Some people can only do 1 raw meal a day, depending on what they're dealing with. Depending if their situation isn't as serious as a tumor or cancer, they have a little bit more time to spare, and if they want to, they can do like a smoothie or a fruit bowl in the morning, wait a few hours, and then have a light cooked meal, and then for dinner do raw, or for dinner do some cooked light food. But you want to stay away from things that are really heavy and that can require a lot of energy, because everything is energy. The more you spend energy digesting food and digesting different things in your body, and then you have things that are already there and accumulated in your gut and in your lymphatic system and in your cells, the more that your body's spending time trying to clean those things, the less energy it's going to have to really cleanse itself. You know what I'm saying? Your channels of elimination aren't going to be properly open. Most people's kidneys are getting rid of waste to an extent, because if people's kidneys just stopped working, obviously everybody would die. That's the way our body gets rid of waste, you know, through our urine. But it's not getting rid of waste the way it should be. And the reason why is because we're eating things that are taking so much energy from the body that our kidneys are essentially backed up and blocked. Everyone's kidneys in today's society, or 99.9% of people's kidneys, including my own from the way I used to eat, is shot. So the kidneys are so important. Getting filtration out of your urine. You know, when you're urinating, that's a whole nother video, but when you're urinating into a glass jar, you should be able to see some type of mucus and sediment there. That is how your body gets rid of viruses, tumors, cancers, you know, as well as the skin. There's different channels of elimination, and your body is always going to take the path of least resistance and the easiest. But the more you start to open up your channels of elimination, the more you start to consume raw living food, the more you start to consume high energy food, that's how your body's going to say, okay, we can just go to the kidneys now. We don't have to keep hurting this person by pushing things out of their skin like acne, or like, you know, eczema, or like a virus, you know, like HPV, herpes. Like, all these things are just an accumulation of toxins that are leaving through the skin. You can't forget, the skin is the largest eliminative organ. So when you're seeing things in your skin and acne and pimples, that is your body just pushing out acid. If you start to open up your kidneys, open up your channels of elimination, that acid already has a way to leave. It doesn't have to leave through your skin anymore. That's why people say that, you know, your skin is a reflection of what's going on in your body. That's an iffy statement, because there's a lot of times where someone eats terrible food and their skin is like shiny and beautiful because of the grease and the oil that's accumulating on the skin. Sometimes, you know, the skin isn't actually looking that bad. It's actually looking great. There's a number of reasons for that. One of the reasons is that, you know, when you eat greasy foods, a lot of times your skin is greasy, so it can give you this type of shine and glow. My glow is just natural, you know what I'm saying? I use some coconut oil and I eat raw living foods. But with other people, you know, sometimes it's literally just the oil, and for whatever reason their skin isn't pushing out toxins. But the problem with that is, if someone is eating, you know, a Big Mac, you know, every 2 days, and eating all this fast food and drinking all these milkshakes and eating all these cooked heavy starchy grains on a consistent regular basis, what's happening is, if you're not seeing any symptoms now, I guarantee you it is a fact that they will eventually start to see that. Because that means that if their skin isn't getting rid of the waste, then what is? Because the things that they're eating, and, you know, these animal-based products and these heavy grains, they're not allowing the kidneys to function properly. So that means that waste is just accumulating. That's why people become overweight. And then eventually they get the tumor, or they get the cancer, or they get this, that, and the third. So I just really want you guys to understand, acidity is the cause of all disease. Energy is the way you get rid of it, giving your body the proper amount of energy and moving out of your body's way. As soon as you put anything in your digestive tract, it really does, even if it is raw living food, you start to kind of gently halt the detoxification process. There's different levels of detoxification. I can post that here for you guys. The more you move up, the more your kidneys are not being negatively affected by what you're consuming. The more your body is adequately getting rid of, you know, cellular waste, so you can afford to consume the things at the top of the pyramid. At the bottom of the pyramid, depending on the pyramid you're looking at, because some pyramids include animal products and include non-vegan products, and then some just have like vegetables at the bottom, because vegetables are not as detoxifying as fruit, for example. The minute you put something in your body's spending energy digesting that food, processing that food, breaking down those proteins into amino acids, you know what I'm saying, and feeding your cells. When it's doing that, it's not getting rid of waste. But that's why a raw living foods lifestyle and eating, you know, high vibrational foods is so important, because they take such a small amount of work for your body. You know, it's like very little breaking down of food that your body actually has to do, that when it goes in, you know what I'm saying, okay, maybe it's spending an hour digesting food, but it's not spending 5 hours trying to digest a cheeseburger. So, you know, the 4 hours that it takes you to eat your next meal or drink your next juice, your body's cleansing and cleansing and cleansing. Plus, the food that you're eating is astringent, and it's pulling on your lymph, and it's pulling on the acid in different various parts of your body. So remember, all foods have consciousness. There's a level of consciousness to everything. I just wrote a blog post about like the consciousness of olive leaf extract, of that herb. I love that herb. All herbs have their own levels of consciousness. And so as long as you're taking the herbs that are congruent with what your body needs, and you're eating predominantly raw living foods, that's a perfect environment for your body to be able to start getting rid of waste and getting rid of your symptoms, which the medical community calls diseases. If you have lymphatic stagnation in your heart and in your blood vessels, then you can possibly get a stroke. If you have mucus and lymphatic stagnation and acidity in the brain, you can develop Alzheimer's, or you can develop a tumor, or you can develop dementia. Stagnation in the lungs leads to things like lung cancer, for example. everything has to do with acidity. And what fixes acidity? I think you guys got it by now. If you're still watching this video up until this point, it's what you're consuming. You know what I'm saying? Everything is energy. We are energy. The foods we're eating are energy. The more you put high vibrational foods in your body, the better your body works. It's the same way that if you hang out with high vibrational people that are doing positive things with their lives, and you're, you know, liking videos like this one that you're watching right now on YouTube, YouTube starts to fill your algorithm up with other videos like this. You naturally go into a more high vibrational, you know, mindset. If you start to hang out with people that are doing drugs and that are always complaining and that are always gossiping, you naturally start to go in that direction as well. It's the same way when you start consuming food like, you know, dead animal products or animals that were tortured in slaughterhouses. That energy is getting put in your body on top of the acidity, which is causing, you know, cancer. Sometimes even on a subconscious level, on a very, very, very subconscious level, we understand, even I used to understand before I was vegan, that this food wasn't the best for me, for my body. So just knowing that and still consuming it, you start to kind of break your trust with yourself. I'm not here to talk about why you should go vegan, you know what I'm saying? That's not what this video is. If you do want to go vegan, that's great, and I would love to, you know, help you transition there. Check out my website. But, you know, this whole video is just so that you guys can understand the detoxification process and how it works and why there's no one-size-fits-all protocol. Because if two people have, let's say, a tumor, you know what I'm saying, and one uses the restroom every single day, they go 2 times a day, they're pooping, and the other person poops once a week. I've had clients that go to the restroom once every 4 days to 2 weeks. It's that inconsistent. They're not going to be on the same herbs. So that's why when people contact me, they're like, oh, what can I do for this? What can I do for this? I'm like, we have to set up a general consultation, because I have to ask you a bunch of questions to figure out what your constitution is, what your situation is, so that we can get to the root cause of your issues, so that I can personalize something for you. Because just because you have the same ailment as somebody else, this is not medical-based community. This is not you going to the doctor and the doctor saying, take this, it'll take the symptom away. This is me helping you heal your body. I don't heal anything, you know what I'm saying? I tell you, I lead you in the direction of you healing your own body. I give you the power. I don't want that karma. I don't want that, you know what I'm saying? Like, even calling myself a healer sometimes, I'm like, I don't know if I really want to say this. I want to just say that I'm teaching people the way, you know what I'm saying? I'm leading people on the path to healing their own bodies. When doctors diagnose patients with conditions, all they're doing is taking a whole bunch of people that have the same exact symptoms and saying, okay, I'm going to call this. That's all that disease is. It's symptoms. And a lot of people, based on what they're eating and based on what they're doing with other people, they're getting these symptoms from these things that they're acquiring, this acid that they're acquiring in their body. And then the doctors are saying, a lot of people have this, so we're going to call this. And we're going to take you this drug that we formulated from an herb. That's the crazy thing, is that all pharmaceutical drugs essentially come from an herb that they manipulated in a laboratory and made stronger. We're going to give you this herb so that we can sell it to you and so that we can make money from it and so that it can block your symptoms. What happens is that when you block the symptoms, you never get to the root cause of the issue. So you can tell me that you have a headache, and if I was a doctor, I might say, here, just take some Advil and some Tylenol, and maybe your headache will actually go away. The problem is that your headache didn't go away. The symptom of your headache went away because the Tylenol or the Advil manipulated your endocrine system, your nervous system, your lymphatic system. So it found a way, and it was chemically engineered to be able to block the feeling of the headache. But what caused the headache and the actual headache doesn't actually go away. And what happens is you continue to take these Advils and these Tylenols and these different, you know, over-the-counter, you know, prescription medications or whatever, non-prescription, you know, sometimes you can just buy them straight from the CVS or from the Duane Reade, and sometimes you have to get a prescription for them if they're that, you know, acid forming. You need a doctor to tell you to take it, you know what I'm saying? What happens if when you keep taking these types of drugs and medications and you're blocking your symptoms, it's inevitable that if you're always getting headaches and you're always trying to block the symptoms, you're just going to get something else worse in the future. So that headache that was trying to tell you, you know what I'm saying, your body speaks to you and shows you signs and symptoms, the headache was trying to tell you that there's something going on here. There's a reason why you have this headache. There's a lot of acid in your head. That's why you keep on getting headaches. You keep blocking the symptoms but never getting to the root cause. So that headache, eventually a lot of damaged cells, you know, end up in that head region, and then it can turn into brain cancer. And that's all that, you know, cancer is. It's an accumulation of damaged cells. Doctors treat symptoms, whereas someone like myself, I naturally, you know, help people heal their bodies on their own so that the symptoms go away. Like, that part is inevitable. The symptoms are going to go away because you've already gotten to the root cause of the issue, and you don't have to worry about it turning into something else in the future because you've already addressed your organs, your kidneys, your adrenals, your endocrine system, your lymph nodes, your liver, and your gallbladder. You've addressed what needs to be addressed in your specific body based off of your ailment and based off of what you know, what your lifestyle is. And now you don't have to worry about that stuff coming back anymore. It's done, you know what I'm saying? And you don't have to feel like I'm taking this drug and it feels feels weird and it feels bad and it's giving me these symptoms and it's going to manifest into something else. The symptoms on these drugs are fucking crazy, dude. Sometimes the symptoms literally say, or sometimes the side effects literally say death. Like, humans are so far removed from nature, but it's really not our fault. It's set up this way for a reason. They want to make the most amount of money, and we're their guinea pigs essentially, you know what I'm saying? But leaving the matrix, you know, getting out of the matrix is saying no. God, the universe, consciousness, Allah, whatever you believe in, put these herbs on earth for a reason, and they're here to heal us. You know what I'm saying? We just got to move out of our body's way, and our body does what it's already doing on a daily basis, or what it's trying to do, which is detoxify. The difference between a treatment modality and a healing modality is that a treatment is very short term. Sometimes it's not even that short term. Sometimes it is something that lasts, you know. You're treating the symptom and it'll last for a while, you know. It'll 5 years and you haven't had symptoms because you're continuously taking this drug. But it will always lead to something else. If it doesn't lead to another dis-ease, you know, maybe your kidneys will be shot, one of your kidneys gives out. So you really want to get to the root cause of your issue. If you have any signs and symptoms, it's just your body's lovingly way, your body's beautiful way of saying, I need help right now, and something that you're doing isn't working right. So I need you to start making better decisions so that I can be here for you and I can be the vessel that you need and love you, so that you can go out into the world and be this vibrant person that's going to attract everything that you want and everything that you need. Every relationship that you want, every person that should be in your life is going to be attracted to you. Every job that you want, you know what I'm saying? That's just how it works. I'm speaking from a place of experience. That's how it's manifested in my life, and now I'm here trying to, you know, pay that forward and help as many people as possible. When it comes to detoxification, I can spend 3 hours talking about this because, I mean, I can just go on and on. There's detoxification symptoms, there's the different levels of detoxification, and talking about each individual level, I can get into that. I can talk about mono fruit fasting and the benefits of that. I can talk about juice fasting, green juice fasting versus fruit juice fasting. I can talk about eating just fruits versus eating just vegetables. There's so much more I can get into. I don't want to get into all of that. I just really wanted this video to be a simple explanation as to what detoxification is, so that you can understand what your body is trying to do anyways, and that you can, you know, if you can't afford a consultation with me, I make my prices very reasonable, but some people, you know, it's COVID, there's a lot of things going on right now, and not everyone can afford it. The least you can do is start eating more high vibrational living foods, transitioning to a 80% raw living foods diet, and then eventually 100% raw living foods diet, so that you don't have to deal with these symptoms, and you can do a healing based modality versus a treatment based. It's not about the specific herb, it's not about the specific virus, it's about the terrain, it's about the entire system, so that the entire system can work on getting rid of acids, and then everything else, whether it's a virus, whether it's a tumor, whether it's cancer, whether it's fibromyalgia, all of that stuff inevitably goes away, as long as you move out of the way and give your body the right amount of energy. I feel like I've said the same thing a few times in this video, but it was important for me to say everything well, so that everyone that watches this video from beginning to end understands what detoxification is. You know, there's so much more, like I said, to get into, but we won't get into that in this video. If you like what you heard, please give this video a like. It really helps me out, and it lets YouTube know that you want to see more videos like this, more videos that have to do with cleansing, healing, and regenerating, and spirituality and positivity. When you go to youtube.com, your homepage will be filled with videos like that, as opposed to videos that have to do with gossip and garbage and things that just don't really do anything for your brain. So yeah, I love that. When I go on youtube.com right now, I see completely different videos than what I used to see back in the day, when I used to be into like drama, like, you know what I'm saying? And now that I've moved into a more zen way of life and a more peaceful way of life, it's like a ripple effect. You know, every part of my life right now is improving and has improved so much, and I want nothing more than for the same thing for you guys. So, you know, like, comment, subscribe, all of that stuff. If you want to book a consultation with me, I'll be more than happy to work with you. Go to ascensionliving.co. I'll put the link in the description below. Go to my services, and you know, you can book a general consultation with me, so we can help get you back towards health, towards abundant health, vibrant health, regardless of whatever symptoms you're dealing with. They're symptoms, they're not diseases. You don't have a disease, you have symptoms, and you have acid, okay? Alright guys, peace, love, and blessings.